Here's how to stick to your New Year's resolutions for 2025. Who am I? Just a guy who's been working from home for the past 20 years, since 2005. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I am not a process improvement specialist or efficiency optimizer. I am a lifestyle improvement enthusiast, entrepreneur who is self made and has 2 decades of experience on how to stay consistent, stay on track with your goals, and stay out of trouble in your current work from home environment. And I'm here to share those secrets with you today, a lot of which are not really secrets and are mostly logic. However, if you consistently implement these and you remain loyal to your goals, you will be able to achieve them this year without fail. Now, most people will give up on their New Year's resolutions by the second or third week of January. There's a few people who probably already fell off the wagon or never even perhaps got on the wagon since the holidays. Maybe you've been overindulging. Maybe it's time to just sort of achieve some specific goal, whether it's related to your nutrition, your diet, your exercise, just staying disciplined in general. Maybe it's to do with work and how to optimize your efficiency in your home. But whatever it is, I am 40 years old, have been self-employed for 20 years, and have been working from home for 20 years. And let's see how we can make sure that if you've been working from home the last few years, and you wish to continue to do that and make money from home, you can at least try to stay healthy and motivated and consistent in your sort of routines, create environments and circumstances that are favorable for you to achieve those goals and make it actually easier for you. So I'll show you how to do that. The first thing you have to do is assess your situation. So what does that mean? You look at your work situation, your work environment, your hours, your habits, how much time you spend in front of your computer, at home, working from home. Do you have the right environment, and so on and so forth, to to work efficiently? Is there a problem somewhere there? Do you feel like maybe you're missing a key element, a piece of equipment? Maybe you're in a certain space in the house that's just not favorable in your home. Maybe there's not enough sunlight. Maybe it's just sort of not really a well-organized, dedicated workspace and stuff like that. Then you got to look at your sleep, because sleep was a very big thing personally for me. So I'm really just offering tips from my experience, based on my experience and what's worked for me. And everybody is different. So you have to sort of figure out during this process what works really for you specifically in your specific situation, right? Because my sleep challenges were for sure different from most people's sleep challenges. I had sleep apnea. I had a deviated septum. I had to actually do surgery on my nose to fix it. And it was a 2-year recovery process, actually, from that procedure. I had tried a whole bunch of other things before that. I did the CPAP machine. Before, I just thought maybe I wasn't sleeping enough, but actually the quality of the sleep was also a problem. So I just wound up avoiding sleep and sort of overworking, which is never really good, because you want to be in decent shape to be productive at work. I take my work, anyone who knows me knows that I'm borderline workaholic, and I take my work very, very seriously. And one of the things that I've learned with time, when you start to slow down, again, I'm 40, not the same thing when I was 17, where I could just work until 4 or 5 in the morning and then wake up 6, 7, 8 o'clock and do it again for years. Okay. Can't do that anymore. So I have a bedtime. I have a time that I wake up with regularly. So again, just knowing yourself, your body, your situation, your circumstances, what works for you, doesn't work for you. You got to start making some notes on paper. Maybe you're distracted. Okay. So if there's anything in your work environment that's distracting you, you might want to eliminate that. Maybe your sleep situation is not ideal and you're not getting enough sleep, and that's messing up your workouts and your motivation and your work, but it all ties together. Okay. That's my point, really. If you're not doing one of these things correctly, it's going to have an effect on everything else. And again, this channel, my YouTube channel, is mainly focused on performance, work, entrepreneurship, creativity, motivation, staying disciplined, overcoming specific challenges that entrepreneurs have on a regular basis that maybe aren't as discussed, and there's maybe just not enough information out there about certain specific challenges that we face as either sole proprietors, self-employed people, professionals, or entrepreneurs. And so this is what we're trying to do to get you the best start possible in 2025 and help you really commit and achieve those objectives. Okay. So, again, the first step, you're auditing yourself, you're analyzing yourself, you're looking at your sleep, you're looking at your diet, you're looking at your patterns, you're looking at your home workstation, looking at your overall space that you have to work with in your home and your habits and so on and so forth. And you're trying to just sort of out the gate map out, little issues that you could spot with each of those within each of those categories. Let's call it sleep as well. So once you've done that, I'm going to give you three things now that are to-dos. I'm going to give you three things not to do, so to avoid, and then I'm going to give you two bonus items which, again, if you stick around for the video, it's going to be helpful for you. The first thing you definitely want to do is to carve out designated work areas within your home. So you have to look at your home, whatever the space is. Now, I've worked and started in my parents' basement, okay? So that was like my first setup. So I had to work within that. I had a couple of rooms to work with. And I had a sort of a living room area and chill area with a couch and a TV. And then I had my work area, which was one room with pure nothing to do in there except for work. I even discriminated to the extent that the devices that I install work stuff on are different than the devices I use for my own personal use or gaming or something like that. So that when I'm on a certain computer, I am like completely zoned into work and there's no distracting notifications of friends or anything to do with games or anything like that. Just business related stuff. So segment your space, divvy up your space, divide it up, and really try to optimize it. Whatever it is, if it's one room, if it's two rooms, if it's a condo, if it's an apartment, if it's a house, whatever the situation is, you can definitely optimize it. So right now, I have way more room to the point where I actually stopped going to the gym since September, closing in on 5 months, I would say, not going to the gym and just working out from home, which has been actually phenomenal for me because I'm in the best shape I've ever been. And I'll tell you how I managed to do that. Make sure that, for example, your living room has the attributes of a living room. This is like your fun space, your entertaining room, your dining room could also be very like lit up. So the areas that you have a lot of light, you need a lot of energy, you want to have fun. The other thing you want to do is make sure that your workspace is kind of like blocked off. So when you go into work mode, into your workspace, it's just like nothing can really distract you from that. So I would encourage divvying stuff up, dividing it up if you have enough space per room, or within a room, you could get creative and have like sort of a little work corner on one side of the room, and then, maybe kind of like your couch and chill area on the other side, and just like put things away. Okay. So like out of sight and out of mind. I even wrap, for example, all my video game stuff at the end of the weekend. I'll wrap up all the wires and I'll stick it in a cabinet and make sure it's closed off. And so it's like a pain in the butt for me to like get out my system and my controller and my VR or whatever it is that goes with it, and actually like I want to make it as difficult for myself to have fun basically throughout the week. Okay. So that's one thing that I do. I do recommend it because it works really, really, really well. The other thing that I suggest, in your bedroom, make sure that you have like the most absolute tranquility, and if you can afford blackout curtains or a sleep mask, or just paint your room a certain color so that's very like zen. Try to really have the best sort of sleep setup that you can afford. I'm talking pillow, I'm talking mattress, a headboard. I just recently discovered is really, really important because I just sleep really much better when I'm not sort of falling off the edge of my bed. So I never actually owned one up until now, like age 40. Okay. So like this is my first headboard experience in life, and it's freaking amazing. Like I assembled the whole thing myself, and it's a game changer, really. The way I have it all set up with my cushions and pillows and everything, it's absolutely great sleep that I get, and I just love sleeping there. Like I look forward to just like going and sleeping there. So if you can work a little bit your sleeping area and have all those elements sort of taken care of, as well as any health issues that might impact your sleep, right? I mean, that's sounds like a no-brainer, but it apparently took me, 37 years to figure this out, that, this is what I had. I had sleep apnea. It was a major issue. I had extreme sleep apnea. It wasn't just the CPAP that I needed. I had a physical deformity in my nose that I needed to fix. My septum was essentially folded on itself, so it was a 7-hour procedure instead of a 4-hour procedure. But all is said and done, and very, very good. And I breathe better, I work out better, I run better, I walk better, I just feel better and less tired and beaten down all the time. I actually look better than I did 3 years ago. I had like bags under my eyes. I have a before and after picture. I was totally sleep deprived for probably too much of my life. This is something that is key in all areas of performance, health, everything, just feeling good, life. So take it seriously. I know a lot of guys out there maybe don't take that type of thing and they'll just sort of sleep wherever, however, on the couch with light in their face or lights on even, or TV on, or whatever it is. But try to create like a device-free Zen environment where you can really like nest in and just like you don't want to leash. Make it that comfortable that it's just so appealing to go to sleep, and you'll try and combine that with like relatively good consistent sleep habits and going to bed early and things like that whenever you can. Of course, I understand if you're starting a business and that's sort of not really an option to go to bed early. I've kind of been there, done that. So, those are special years and they require special effort. When it comes to your workout corner, if you want to have a workout corner in your home, it doesn't have to be super complicated, okay? Unless you're like a professional athlete that's part of a sports team and is training for the Olympics or is training for a bodybuilding competition. The average person, okay, like myself, I think I think that I look really, really good for my age. I do not go to the gym. I feel great. I feel great about the way I look. I feel great about the way I feel. I feel just better than expected after having run a business for a couple of decades now. So I wish that for everybody else. And, there's nothing wrong with going to the gym. I've gone as well for many years on and off. But I've also always worked out consistently. So when I wasn't going to the gym as much, I would be working out from home. So that's why I'm able to sort of, I guess, just sort of maintain what I built and not have any significant um, negative impact just working from home. And it's such a game changer. It's such a time saver. Even though my gym wasn't too far away and I would theoretically get, a little extra walk in or a little bit of cardio in biking there, I'd still prefer just getting my cardio on my doggy walks, save time going to the gym, just like the sheer act of going. Like commuting is one of the most useless things that I think we can do. And so I was very happy when Bluetooth came around and you could sort of make your commutes more productive. So for those of you who do have commutes, it's not the end of the world. You could listen to podcasts now. You could, you know, take care of a couple of calls on your route. So there's ways to make that sort of downtime, productive. For me, setting up a little corner in my home where I have enough equipment to work with, I'll tell you what I have and that what works for me. I have a pull-up bar. I installed it myself. I had one also even in my condo, but now that I have a home with even more space, it just sort of made a lot of sense for me to have that there. So I set that up. I have a whole bunch of different surfaces and areas in my living room that I use that are angled to give me different styles of push-ups. So I can do straight push-ups, incline push-ups, decline push-ups. I could do pike push-ups, which are the ones you do um, sort of like very angled. So it's for the working your shoulders more. So if you're creative about it, you really don't need that much equipment. I don't even have heavy weights like I used to use at the gym. I really have like light-ish weights. I have two 10-pound weights and one 30-pound adjustable weight that I use for certain exercises, and one 20-pound kettlebell, which again is really not that much. But if you do the exercises a certain way and make them harder, it's like very easy to make different exercises harder, and you increase your reps, your amount of repetitions that you do, and the amount of sets that you do. It really has a similar impact as far as the look, at least. I mean, I'm not necessarily training for strength. I mean, in today's society, strength is probably not as valuable a skill as, or an attribute, let's call it, as it used to be back when, we had to fight dragons and things like that, right? So, anyhow, carve out a little corner if you can, whether you go to the gym or not. If you are going to go to the gym, I highly suggest that you go to a gym that's near your house. As far as your office and your work environment, so I chose to have my office in the basement. This is my office, basement office. This is where I work, and I have literally everything I could possibly need here. I have a automatic up and down adjustable desk, so I can just adjust. If I want to stand at my desk, I could just do it. And it's a very nice option to have if you can afford it. And if not, I like things that are functional. So I have a couple of desks over here, which you can actually adjust the size of. If you need a little bit more surface area and space, you can just pull out on both sides a little flap. No, it's very thoughtful in the environment and, my brand's colors. And, I tattooed some things on the wall, little designs and things like that, that sort of were inside, not really jokes, but things that are important to me. And I really, really love this space. And everybody that sets foot in this space just says, this is a really cool place. I just really, really like what I set up for myself here. And, you should be motivated by your work environment, because you'll want to be in it longer and hopefully a bit more motivated as well in anything you do. It also shows that you take your work seriously, when you're talking to customers and stuff and they see that you are very, serious about your work environment, you'll definitely score some points there, whether it's your boss or your clients or other professionals that you're connecting with. So, definitely take your work environment seriously. Now, the next thing that's really important for you when you're working at home, it's tempting to fall into sort of these patterns. Like I know some people who regularly order from Uber Eats and they're always eating out and they're kind of just eating anything. I know other people that just buy stuff off the shelf in boxes. So anything that's sort of packaged like that, you kind of don't want to touch. You want to eat whole foods. Whole foods are really the key for me. That's been the key, is to just eat things that are natural. So I eat a lot of eggs, I eat a lot of broccoli, I eat a lot of meat, I eat a lot of things that are not packaged and processed, and aim for whole foods. So anything that just comes directly from nature. You can still go to restaurants and have cheat days and things like that, but just try not to, make it habitual. It should be a special thing that you're scarfing down cookies, or that you're, binging on whatever it is, chips while you watch Netflix or something like that. These should be things that are, rewards for either accomplishing something, or it's the season, or it's a birthday or something, but it shouldn't be cake every day. You know, if you're partying if every day feels like a party, then you're not eating right. Of course, if you have some sort of chronic health issue relating to your food, or your consumption of food, or you're allergic to something, or you have diabetes, or you just don't react well to certain types of foods, then obviously you have to consult a nutritionist and find solutions so that you can get all the nutrients that you need. So one thing that I've found is really good to get a lot of the nutrients that you need is to have smoothies. So these like jam packed with like even avocado, like green smoothies. So I'll put like spinach, avocado, broccoli in smoothies, carrots, sometimes like everything inside of a smoothie. I'll have all the like berries and bananas, especially really good, and apples. I'll just chuck them in there and blend it up, and that saves me a whole bunch of time getting a lot of the vitamins and minerals that I need, so I'm not hooked on these sort of supplements, which can also get very expensive. So in a nutshell, you want to eat whole foods, you want to avoid preservatives, packaged stuff that's processed. You want to avoid ordering and being addicted to Uber Eats. I don't even have the app installed on my phone. I make it as, again, as difficult as possible. So if I want to order food, I have to go to the store to order food, or I have to like manually go out of my way to order food. That's how difficult I like to make it for myself. The other things you want to do is build walking into your routine. Just walking, it's good. It sort of de stresses you. You get fresh air, you get a little vitamin D, you reconnect a little bit with nature. You don't look directly at your screen, so you're using your long term vision as well. Because just planting yourself in front of a screen and only using your your short distance vision is, if you're going to lose your long range vision if you only use your short range vision. If you don't use it, you lose it. Blue light glasses, if you want to, oh, look, you can see my ring light. Yeah, so if you want to have a little bit of protection for your eyes when you're on your computer, I do suggest using blue light glasses. There's a benefit for your eyes just going for walks as well. Always make sure to have some sort of bottle with you so that you can consume water all day. Because as stupid as it sounds, that's really important. And most people are chronically dehydrated. We just looked at things that you need to do, but now we're going to look at the don'ts. We're going to look at the things that you really should not be doing, kind of no matter what. So avoid leaving anything out that would distract you during your workday. Something you could play with, somebody you could contact, anything that's in your house that's going to distract you. Just get them out of there, away from your little work zone. And when you go into that zone, it's like you're like Batman transforming into Batman, and then you go back to Bruce Wayne at the end of your work day. I'll wrap up any of my, fun devices, or I'll put away any games, or I'll really think about the devices that I use for work and only install work related stuff on them and only use those devices for work. Put everything away that could distract you in that work environment. Again, it helps to have sort of a fun designated work area. And again, it also helps to sort of distinguish between your devices. Now, the other big tip health wise is just to not let junk in your house. So, health wise, food wise, nutrition wise, if it comes into the house here, if something comes into my house, I will eat it. And I will probably eat it within 24 hours, whether it's a box of chocolates, a full, you know, a carton of ice cream, whatever it is, chips. They're going to disappear within a couple of days. They're going straight to my stomach. And that's where I put on all my weight. It's in my stomach. I think it's the same for most men. That's where we carry and develop quickly the most weight. So that's a particular area of concern for myself, and I'm sure a lot of you out there as well. But the idea is you just don't let it happen. So when you go to the grocery store, unless it's a cheat night, just don't go anywhere near cookie section, ice cream section, chocolate section, candy section, chip section, all the good stuff. Leave as like quickly as possible before you start picking up other stuff. Now, the other thing that you just do not want to do is sign up for a pricey gym membership or any gym membership that is far away from your home. The further it is, the less you will go. The more difficult you make it to get to the gym, the less you will go. And so finally, I'm like, the easiest is if like the gym is like here in my house, right? So I don't even have a full-on gym. I literally just use makeshift sort of setups that I've created and exercises that are mostly body weight related and a couple of weights that I toss around for certain types of exercises. And it's been working really well for me. Again, best shape of my life from home, haven't gone to the gym in over 4 months, and I feel great. And it's super easy for me to maintain this. Don't make ridiculous New Year's resolutions or set goals that are unrealistic, okay? There's something called SMART objectives, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time specific. You really can't say, for example, I'm going to work out every day. Because if you say, I'm going to work out every day, you are definitely not going to achieve that for the whole year. It's pretty much impossible. Like I don't even think Arnold works out every day or ever has worked out like every single day. I'm going to give you the bonus tips now. So number one tip, guys, get a pet. Specifically, if you can get a dog that forces you to go out and walk and breathe fresh air, clear your mind, get a little vitamin D, the good stuff. Plus, the benefits of having a dog are you always have company. You always have great company. And it keeps my butt in shape. So it's like I'm walking my dog, but like my dog is like walking me. She's like forcing me to go out and exercise. I don't know if you can relate to that, but you force yourself to get that in because quite honestly, if I didn't have a dog and I wasn't going for walks because of that 2 to 3 times a day, well, I wouldn't be going for walks 2 to 3 times a day. I promise you that I'd be doing something else that's less good for my health with that time. And incidentally, I find that that actually just makes my whole life better. So it upgrades my work, it upgrades my sleep at the end of the day, it upgrades the amount of vitamin D I get. It's just purely benefits, really. Like, so if you can hack it, if you can swing it, do it. If you're allergic to dogs, or if you just are afraid of dogs, maybe to have them near you all the time, or you just don't like dogs necessarily, even, you could go maybe with like a friend who has a dog. They could hold the dog, they could walk the dog, but you could accompany that friend who lives in your neighborhood and get, sort of like piggyback off of those walks with your friend who might eventually hate you because you spend so much time with them and get into a fight and then you kill each other. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So that's just another idea for people who don't have like direct access to a dog or don't want the hassle of necessarily owning one, or they travel and they just don't want the commitment, but they like the idea of having that sort of like motivation to go out and regularly walk with that dog or whatever. I mean, if you can swing that, that'd be great. Or you could maybe dog walk for your neighbors or something like that. But and in any way or shape or form, if you can get a dog in your life and you can regularly partake in the walks, it's a plus. So try to figure that one out. Really segment and enjoy your experiences every day. And the whole thing comes together. You're going to see every time you tackle one of these, it's going to have a positive impact on the other one. You eat better, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to work out better. You work out better, you're going to work better. You work better, everything just becomes better, right? You're going to earn better. You're going to be able to make better lifestyle choices. You're going to be able to eat better. It's a whole, like it all comes together. Create an environment that like forces you to do things. So put away the toys, the fun stuff at the end of the weekend, settle into your very closed off, dark, relaxing, cozy, comfortable bed at the end of the day. Find excuses to go for walks throughout your day. Build in your workouts into your routine somehow. If it's a gym that's close by, you can walk or run or bike to. Great. If you cannot, I wouldn't even suggest signing up for that gym, no matter what the price is, because chances are you're not going to go nearly as much as you would if it was closer or if you just simply worked out from home. Again, it does take discipline, so that's why I suggest creating a little corner. If you do know that you have some health issues that you've sort of been procrastinating on, I do encourage you to take care of that as quickly as possible. As soon as you take care of it, it's an instant lifestyle upgrade. And I hope you all achieve as many of your resolutions and your objectives for this year as possible. So if you enjoyed this video and you like this video, share it with somebody who you also want to encourage and want them to be on track for the new year. with their goals, with their resolutions, with their health. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share. You guys are amazing.